So I think I am going to put the description of the techniques at the back. I want to include them because I just want to remember the details for myself, but it's probably confusing and not very interesting if you aren't familiar with what we're doing. So today we worked on Lasso, and Jason made the point that in Lasso you always want to be squared up. So as a general rule, you want to be on your side because having both your shoulders on the ground is the worst thing that you can do. Limits your mobility and your kind of and allows your opponent to like smash you. So you want to have your body off, one shoulder off the ground, and kind of leaning into your opponent so that you have better base. Yeah. Also, if you're both of your shoulders on the ground, you don't have much base. All you can do is like a bench press kind of motion. But Jason said that in a lasso situation, you actually want to be square to the ground because, this is what I noticed actually on Tuesday or Wednesday, that when you're in lasso and one shoulder's on the ground, one shoulder's off, it's very easy for them to smash you. So if you're on your side, they can just put pressure on your leg and force your legs together and then just pass you. Gabe did that to me on Wednesday. With Lasso, it's okay to be square because your leg through his armpit allows you to have control over that arm. It kind of gives you control over that arm. So you can stop him from going left or right. If he goes right, you just rotate your leg outward and then that forces his shoulder down. If he's going right, to his right, to your left, then you can just stiffen your leg out and then that forces his right shoulder back. So because of the control that your leg has in Lasso, you being on your back is not a disadvantage, and in fact being on your side is a disadvantage because all these control positions allow you to have control over him, but it also allows your opponent to have control over you. So in the lasso, your leg is a lever, so it allows you to control your opponent, but it also allows your opponent to control you in certain situations. So when you're on your back, it allows you to control him, and when you're on your side, it allows him to control you. It's like a stick. I don't know, if you're swinging a stick at someone, that stick, it gives you like a lot of leverage, right? Like you can hit them from farther away. But if they grab the end of the stick, now they can use the stick to pull you toward them. That's sort of like an analogy. This actually happened to me yesterday or Wednesday, where I got a Kimura on someone. So the Kimura is like a figure four grip on their arm. So you have two hands on their arm, and it allows you to have a lot of control. The traditional sort of submission from that is using that grip to bring his arm behind his back and twisting his shoulder into submission. So so Kimura's a lot of control. So I had that Kimura, and then I was trying to maneuver his arm, but he did something and was maneuvering my arm. So all that control does is attach myself to him and attach but it also attaches him to me. So whoever has control of that attachment is the winner, or is in better position. So just because I have that control, just because I'm attached to them doesn't mean that I can do whatever I want. So something similar happened today where I was doing stand-up with Tristan. I had his lapel, and I was doing double lapels on him, and I was trying to shoot a single leg. So generally that's pretty safe, because I have his lapel, I'm bringing his posture, and my elbows kind of tucked into my side. But he reached over and around and got my arm into a Kimura, and then brought my arm behind me, and because of that, I had to let go of his lapel. So I thought the lapel was a strong grip. What is going on here? I thought the lapel was a strong grip, or strong control mechanism, but he used the fact that my arm was like a little exposed because I was holding on to the lapel to get the camera grip. So it's just interesting that the advantages you have, my grabbing the lapel is not a disadvantage, but it is an opening for him to do something. So if I finished single leg quicker, I guess, then he wouldn't have been able to do anything. He wouldn't have been able to put the Kimura on. And that doesn't mean that you need to do everything fast before they take advantage of something, but it's just that when you have an advantage, it's not like a permanent advantage. It's very the situation is very dynamic. So today we did Sesame, and then more Lasso. So Sesame is like a foot sweep, I think. I don't know what the technical definition of it is, but we were kind of sweeping. Well, we were kind of blocking the foot and then pulling the opponent over that block. So I don't know if that is a foot sweep, or a foot sweep is more active with the foot. Anyway, so you're doing it with the right foot. So you want to square your opponent up. Then there's 3 different foot positions you can do. The first one is left foot in between your opponent's legs. It can still be a little forward of his feet, but midway between his 2 feet. Right foot blocks his left foot. Then you have a lapel grip with your right hand, and you have a elbow grip with your left hand, and you do like a steering wheel motion to the right to break his posture, and you pull him down to the right. You also need to look to the right and kind of behind you. So I wasn't doing that most of the time. The second position is your left foot steps outside of his right foot, and then you block his left foot. So you don't have to block the far side of his foot. You block the front of his foot. Otherwise, everything is the same. And the third way is you step with your right foot to the left, and then your left foot outside of his feet. So this is even deeper, and then you block with your right foot, and you go over it. And the deeper you go, the more leverage you have on the sweep. I'm just going to call it sweep. On the sweep. But it takes more time to set up, and there's more motion, so your opponent can see it coming, or be able to set back, or other kind of stuff. So Jason said next week he would show us going the other way in case the opponent steps back, whatever. But so the difference in the footwork is because you want more power. Okay, so then lasso. We did like a balloon sweep with your lasso foot. Lasso foot shifts into between his legs and do a balloon sweep. We did that one before. Then the second one is as you're pulling your lasso foot in between his legs, then what if he kind of crunches forward or leans forward, still with his butt back though, and prevents you from bringing your foot all the way in front and through. So in this case, your foot is kind of trapped on his hip. So then you want to pummel your right leg inside of his shin. So it's like shin on shin. And then your left foot pulls him forward, and then use your right shin to sort of butterfly sweep him around. So that was the second one. The third one was you're in lasso, and so it's like a X guard lasso combination sweep. So you're in lasso, you get a De La Riva hook, then you grab his left ankle with your right hand, then you bring your right foot, so your right foot had the De La Riva, so it's on the outside of his hip. You bring your right foot in front and you hook his left hip with your knee pointing down, and then you tuck your knee behind his knee. So it's sort of like when Tim showed us how to get into lasso. We were in closed guard, and then we brought the right foot down, hooking the hip in order to create an angle. So it's very similar to that. You bring the right foot in and hook down and push the knee behind his knee. So De La Riva, grab the ankle, bring that foot in. Then your left leg, which was in the lasso, comes out of the lasso, and your shoelaces go against the back of his right knee. So that's like an X guard with a shallow top hook. So your left shoelaces are against his right knee, your right shoelaces are against his left hip. You can move your right foot from his left hip to his right hip. So that's like the classic X guard. The other way with it on the near leg is shallow X guard. Either way, from there, you can push through to sweep. You should sweep to the left side. I kept on sweeping to the right for some reason. And then if you do that, you just come into closed guard, which is not good. So you sweep to the left. You still have to watch out for doing a bicep slicer. But that was it. And then the fourth lasso technique was going to omoplata. So he said on Tuesday, I missed Tuesday class. I went to the afternoon. Or Wednesdays. I was at Tim's class on Wednesday. But he showed an omoplata from lasso on the non-lasso side, where you pull that arm down to the ground and then omoplata from there. This time he showed us omoplata on the lasso side, so that is, let's see. Okay, so you have the lasso, everything's normal. Then you grab the near side. You get a cross-collar grip with your right hand, break his posture down. Your left hand comes off of the lasso grip and grips the back of his tricep, and you kind of lock in your left arm with his arm so he can't pull it out, and then you shoot your left leg through, and then come around into omoplata. Alternately, instead of grabbing the lapel, you switch the sleeve, the lasso sleeve grip. So now your right hand has the lasso sleeve, the left hand grabs the tricep, and then you shoot your leg through. So the second way, you have less posture control, but the first way, there's an instant where you lose his right arm, so he can pull his right arm out. So that's the trade-offs there. I think you could grab, change the lasso grip to the right hand, and then, no, that would, well, maybe you change the lasso grip to your right hand, grip the tricep with your left hand, and then grip the lapel with the right hand, and pull and shoot. Maybe that would work the best, but maybe that's too involved and takes long. I'm sure.